Crim here with another episode of Baldur's Gate 3. This episode we're going to be going to the Blighted Village, and we're going to be dealing with the Infernal Iron and also the, Helm of Intelligence, or whatever it happens to be called. There was a massive updates the other day, so I had to put off recording until I made sure everything was secure. There seems to be some bugs in the bug fix, but we'll just have to play it by ear. Most of the fixes were for Act 3, and very few were for Act 1, some for Act 2. And I don't really know if they actually fixed a lot of the bugs, because it's kind of hard to report them now. Anyway, that's enough of that. There's a door over here that we could go into. I still have no idea how to open up the door behind the door, because there's some locked door that goes to some random location. I might have to look that up, because it's weird. But there's traps on the side and a locked door with no keyhole. So either there's some mechanism in there that I'm missing, or a mechanism later on that opens up that door. But I did no looting off camera. I found the dirt mound that was over here. I didn't loot it. And we're just going to proceed from here, because I'm going to loot off camera. And the loot right now is not important, because we're not going to really need loot for the next episode or so. I also turned off chatter because I was getting tired of the characters interrupting me whenever I was trying to have a train of thoughts. So let's go ahead and rest here. Rest here. I might turn chatter up a little bit, but for now it's off.
You're a true soul. You can't die. Please, stay with us.
I don't think he's conscious. Can you hear us, Ed?
You, not a step closer.
A strange symbol glows, marked on their flesh, and something within you stirs in response.
Freeze and hold your hands. Medicine, his wounds look deep, might be able to help. You can try that. If we fail, we just attack them. I don't really care. We'll probably end up having to fight them later on anyway.
He's hurt badly, and Owlbear got him deep. If there's anything you can do...
I'm watching you.
The injured man locks eyes with you. A familiar squirming churns in your head.
You know what? I'm just going to attack him. I don't have time for this.
Your minds intertwine. You see his sibling.
Protect.
He's with your...
So you can actually do that and it still passes. Normally I let the
Edwin,
mind
our
in.
brother. He was chosen. Do you have orders for us? We were reporting to Edwin.
Okay, you're mistaken. I'm no true soul. This will actually make them attack you outright.
What? Are you...
A true soul, like you, has been chosen. Your words are her. And when the time comes...
Oh, I like these two. All zeal and no brains.
I'm sorry, Truce. It seems the Absolute still has a great deal to teach me. I don't know any druids.
Really? There's druids right next to us and you don't know any? You're actively hunting druids and other people. Okay, whatever.
We know that all too well, man, but...
We're looking for fugitives. Survivors from that ship that crashed farther west of here.
This will also make them attack you instantly.
We don't know what they look like, but anyone who survived that crash is bound to be injured. That's enough to get us started. The Absolute wants them found. At any cost.
Yeah, so we can also send them on a death mission to go fight the Owlbear. There's no way they're going to fight it. Or we can just send them to the goblin camp and we'll encounter them later, and they'll be completely drunk. Normally, if you play it right, they will actually be poisoned by the goblins and not fight you. However, they can also just join in on fights. It really, really doesn't matter, so we're just gonna attack them now.
You! Brenna! Kill her!
They aren't that strong, especially alone, so it'll be one less group of people that I have to deal with later. That's the only reason I'd be doing this now. And entered. Because normally I try and keep NPCs alive, but Larian decided to make it to where NPCs in this game, for the most part, aren't important at all. Yeah, these two might show up later on in the story, but they don't do anything. So it's what's the point? Get some XP.
My word. Count on me.
Can I pick you up? Can I throw you? Are you too heavy to throw? Oh, that's really annoying. Let's go for just a normal attack then. and a Reckless, and oh, we actually hit this time. Maybe they fixed Reckless, because before, Reckless wouldn't actually give you advantage. You'd take the lowest roll. It'd be like disadvantage and also burning reaction, and everyone else can still get advantage against you, so it's like, what's the point? At least that's how it felt, because I was like never actually hitting whenever I did the, whenever I did Reckless. I might also be misremembering it, what it actually does. Not that important. Send to camp. Send to camp.
Strange power resonates within the corpse. It calls to you.
Okay. By the way, I'm gonna take the helmet off here in a second.
Your limbs move of their own. Why let its host's memories go to waste? The tadpole has absorbed it all. Its experience could nourish you, strengthen you.
Good. I don't want to get that tadpole thing. We're actually not going to get any of the
Your
infection.
muscles loosen. The tadpole breaks free of its deceased host. Your mind is your own again. For now.
So, in the early access, you could get bonus rep for this interaction, because you'd actually hold the tadpole in your hands, and it was giving you the option to either put it in your eye for extra stats, or it would give you the option to let it go, or destroy it. And if you destroyed it, everyone would get +1 favor with you. They got rid of that for the stupid tadpole bug things. And as you see, it's like running off. We could attack it now, but it doesn't do anything for us. So, it's a little annoying. Come back for these later.
There we go.
Up here. We're not going to go to the Owlbear just yet. That'll be something we do next time. And next time we're also going to be dealing with down here in the swamp, if we can help it. Like I said, that's next time. This time we're going to be going over here and dealing with the Infernal Iron and the helmets. Right. So, one reason I turned it off, I didn't mention, but the idle chatter stuff going on, I feel like the patch might have broke it, because it's now like non-stop. Normally they only do it like once every few minutes or whatever, but it seems now everywhere I go, they just start talking. Like we'll be in the middle of a cutscene and then they'll just start doing their idle chatter. So I don't know if they needed like a patch for the patch or what, but we're going to ignore it for now. Go ahead and take this, even though it's kind of worthless. It's just a drawing. Read it. There we go. What to do. See, they're already talking. They're already talking again. They don't normally do that. Before the patch, I don't recall them ever doing that. And it was just too distracting. I've had to like record this episode 3 times now because they just immediately just started interrupting. We could have done like Speak with Dead back there, by the way.
Surround them like. You spotted us. Good. It's like they say. Wait. A drow. In the sun. Stand down. This one's got a touch of the absolute about her. Apologies, your lordship. Hard making you out from a distance. Of course. Come and go as you like. Move it, lads! And show some respect.
Yep, this makes this area a little bit easier. And we're just going to turn off the visual for now. We don't actually need the helmet on in order to keep the disguise, but I might want to like mix it up, and I don't want to have to keep on digging with the helmet just yet. The Infernal Iron is in here, so let's get that first. There, I think, is a key over here somewhere to unlock it, but there's an easy way in there. I showed this in a previous episode, and look, they're already talking again. Like, yeah, the patch had to have updated this to where they just talk non-stop. It's like they're making up for lost time or something. So, if they fix that, I'll turn banter back on. Until then, it's just way too damn distracting. I like the banter, by the way. I'm not saying it's bad. I actually really, really enjoy the banter. But not if it's gonna be like that. I think the Infernal Iron is down here somewhere. Don't remember where. Okay, the blueprints for a really worthless weapon. See, like, that's important. Them saying about the blueprint thing. It lets you know what's going on. And, of course, this one's going to be trapped. Okay, go ahead and lockpick. Anyone else gonna try and check it? No? Okay. Blacksmith notes, and we found the iron. So that part's done. We can go ahead and head back to the Druid camp real quick and take care of that. Eventually, we're going to come back here to take care of the spider infection. And not infection. What am I saying? Infestation. Wow. Because there is a certain book that I want here as well at some point. The book that lets you speak with the dead. The Thay Necronomicon or whatever. It's a really, really good book. And not just for the speak with dead. It actually gives you like +1 wisdom when it comes to like Arcana and all that stuff. See, look, they're talking again. Like, come on, guys. Come on. Alright, do we have the... Yeah, we've got the waypoints. So we're going to head back to the Druid camp. We will end the disguise now. Because I don't think it does anything, but I'd rather have, like, tiefling, like, responses sometimes, like, in early access. If you had the mask on, or not the mask, if you had disguise self on, it wouldn't actually count your actual race anymore. It would give you, like, a new race entirely. So... like the one that you were disguised as for your dialogue options, which is accurate, I guess, but it also was kind of immersion breaking, because, like, give us both options. Give us our true options and give us our, like, deception options, and maybe mark the racial things as deceptions, you know? Just an idea, because it kind of makes it a little iffy. I understand from a balance point of view why they don't do that, because it's probably harder to code, something like that, but I don't know. And this guy, he won't talk to us anymore because of Lysel. Come down here and get our upgrade. Yeah, the world seems a little bit more dead without the chatter. But, oh well.
Hey.
We'll turn it up later.
Hello again.
Found the iron.
The weight of it. And that blaze of chaos. Can't imagine this where my heart should be. Must be quite the experience. Give me just a moment. And I think...
Yeah, I'm glad to see that the camera bugs are still in the game.
There. You'll have to install it, I'm afraid. I don't think there are thick enough gloves in all the realms to protect from that kind of heat.
Oh, I'm still burning just as hot as ever. Thank you, I feel good.
You look good too. Enjoy it. After spending time in Avernus, I know better than most that you deserve a good turn. That engine wasn't meant for this realm though, and I'm not sure how much longer it's going to last burning that hot. Then again, I do love a challenge. Could be if the combustion chamber had its own insulation, or if the spark plug had a dampener. I'll give it some thought. Find me again in Baldur's Gate. If I'm worth my salt, I'll have figured something out by then. Take care, Karlach. And hopefully the next time I see you, I'll have something promising to report. Pocket any infernal iron you find along the way,
Alright. Why does it have a spark plug? Also, one thing I meant to mention before. So if you have Karlach as a companion and you're doing this, she actually has lines. She'll respond to him back and forth with all the stuff going on. Right there, she just looked really awkward because she's the main character. So, like, she wouldn't actually say anything. He's just staring him down. I don't know, it was just a little weird. I don't know why they didn't bother giving the main character or origin characters dialogue prompts. They, like, kept them silent protagonists. So, whatever.
Looking for steel?
Just a little weird.
I have, well, something close.
Like, she'll say the lines that are actually written out, normally, if she's a companion. She'll do it automatically, so. They already had the lines, they already had the ability to do that. They could have just done it. I don't actually need anything here. I'll just sell some junk real quick. Get out of my inventory. That forge is holding a thread. Alright, holding on by a thread. Are you sure you're a smith?
Used to be a bread and butter tinsmith. Learned a lot in my time in the Hells. Alas, my offerings are far more.
Okay, I was hoping you'd have something else to say. And that's her quest done for a long time. She won't actually have anything more until either Will shows up or until Act 2. So, yeah, the update said it fixed like 1,000 patches, or sorry, 1,000 bugs in the game. Yeah, huh? It fixed 1,000. Sure, whatever you say. Now, to be fair, Act 3 was extremely buggy. It was one of the buggiest things. But this is a little annoying still. So let's see if we can get the helmet from him. Now, we can actually recruit him as a temporary ally.
Chicken. No chicken. Tastes like fish. Gentlemen, contain yourselves. This quarrel sours our feast. Besides, tastes like pork. And what surprise is this? Brothers, look here. I have eyed yet another tiefling prize. Fortune favors our bellies. Stranger, be you friend or food. The mark is her measure. Show us the brand of the absolute.
So if you come here as a drow, you don't actually have that aggressive interaction. They pretty much immediately are like somewhat submissive towards you. You're quite eloquent for an orc. Or sorry, ogre.
Am I not astonishing? A robust diet makes for a shrewd mind, you see. I am a gourmand. And you, a delicacy. Unless you bear the mark, of course.
Let's see if we can do this. I'm curious about this. All the, like, barbarian responses just seem really, really interesting. Plus intimidation. Always advantage. Kinda nice.
Food? No one has food today, alas. It seems we are friends. Friend.
Okay, I notice you don't have a brand of your own.
I've no use for the Absolute, or any god. I follow two masters only, gluttony and greed. The goblins understand my appetites. They sate my hunger for gold, and the rest sate my hunger for meat. Boss goblin give gold, we check brand. Good deal. No talk.
Okay, forget the goblins, you should fight with me. And here we can actually convince them either by paying them, or we can convince them by telling them that there's lots of bodies that they can eat later. So we could do that, and we could potentially sick them on the goblins. However, I've never had this interaction work for me. So, I don't know. We can do that, but I don't want to lose access to the crown, because whenever I did that before, they just disappeared, and I could never get the crown again. And it will be so far in the game later, like hours later, when we can actually do that, that if it doesn't work, then I'm kind of SOL, because I really need this crown. So, I've seen few ogres in this part.
We follow the sense of blood and gold to all lands fertile, friend. And this land proves particularly fruitful.
Okay. And we're just going to back out. Because I'm thinking just straight up attack them. Even if they do help, they're not going to be that helpful. They'll just be distracted by the goblins while we turn around and betray them, essentially, so that I can get the crown.
Alas, not so much as a nibble. Food? No.
Alright. So if we did that, they'd actually leave the scene. And I'm sure they fixed it, and it actually works now. I just don't want to take the risk. They are a really high level, though, so this might be too difficult for me. Let's see. If we get up here, we can probably snipe them and get them to come over here so that we can drop this roof on them. We can try that. Can we? Oh, that's a wall. That's a wall. And there's no way up there. I hate the camera in this game so much. So go ahead and shoot you.
You sort of fight.
And hopefully this goes well. Hopefully. There's a chance that we just don't make it. Yeah, that's like barely any damage at all. Not even worth it.
Time to kill.
Yeah, we should have just done the laughter on them. Would I want them to try and come towards us? They have a lot of movement, though. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. We should have gotten a bonus or a surprise round since we attacked them, but whatever. I don't care. So which way are you gonna go? Yeah, you're gonna dash and try and go all the way around. Okay, and now that they're standing somewhat under there. Oh, they're no longer temporarily hostile. So destroying that made them fully hostile. That's great. And it didn't do any damage. Like, what's the point? That's a waste of a turn. Come on, game. You don't have to do that to me. Alright, and just start pounding this guy. He's got the laughter going on, so he should be down for a while. The acid is annoying, but it's manageable. Oh. Well, that's another waste of a turn. There's like a holy weapon or whatever that buffs your next attack. And I thought it was that one. Oh, I'm just misplaying left and right. So since you're there, we're gonna go ahead and silence. Because you're just gonna cast, like, arrows and stuff at me.
Death's cold grip.
Okay, you. Go ahead and do this.
Finish it, putrefying pisses.
Yep, there you go. And we can just jump over the body here if we want to. Or we can just go to town on it. Oh, of course, he somehow saves. He somehow saves that. That's annoying. That's genuinely annoying that that happened.
Fuck yes.
Okay, what do we do here? Do we actually do this time and not mess up? There we go. The Searing Smite. Alright, and as soon as you get to us, we're gonna go inside there. Really? Oh, thank you, actually. That saved me a little bit.
On the move.
We're gonna go inside here in order to prevent you from doing anything. Remove that. And in fact, I could go ahead and do a blindness right here. It'll give him advantage on those two.
Hungry for the slaughter.
But it also will prevent him from having any, like... Can we jump? There we go. It will prevent him from actually doing anything towards us. Can we... No, we cannot move that. Oh boy. Go ahead and dash to get you over here. I was kind of hoping you'd be able to squeeze through there like everyone else, but I guess they're taking up the area. Yeah, so he's blind and he's still just knocked her almost all the way down. Can you really just not, dude? Keep him there so that he's, like, distracting them. You have to go around again. Yep. If we had, like, a ladder or something, we could cheese them on the ladder if we wanted to. I'm gonna go for the kill on you. I guess I could have punched you for that. My bad. And just leave you on the ground for now, so that we can get over here, out of the way.
Time for a couple.
Okay, and for you, you don't have healing because I just forgot to bring any. We haven't actually had a chance to heal. A disadvantage? Alright, fine. Go for that. There we go. Get you up. Even though you're gonna immediately get knocked back down.
Keep them guessing.
Yep. Immediately knocked it back down. And why are you joining the fights? Okay, we're gonna have to stop on that. So, normally the fight is just stuck with me and them. The goblins don't normally attack also. Or if they do, they join me. But for some reason now they're like, hey, you did this, so we're gonna attack you. I guess it makes sense, because we're technically breaking the law with them. And we got like minus 20 faction rep for doing that to them. But it's a little annoying, because it should be an isolated incident.
That's right.
Temptation. Make me an offer. Tempt me.
I'll give you 1,000 gold after you fight for me. We can try that. Just give it a shot. Don't lowball me.
I twice played serenade to my ears, my tasty kibble. We have a bargain.
I think if I actually had the money...
One blow and the ground will quake with my family name.
Okay, hopefully this works now.
Use it when the need arises, and never a moment before.
Okay, so we're gonna actually do that.
Keep close. When you are ready, sound the horn.
We're gonna actually do that, and when we actually go to the Goblin camp and attack them, we will use the horn, I guess, so that they're distracted. See, if it was just them, that would be doable, even though I was messing up all the things. The goblins over here getting involved, not a fan of that, because they've never done that in early access for me. This is the first time that they've actually decided, hey, let's actually help them out, and I feel like it's because I broke this. Because they went from being temporary hostile to being fully hostile. So, that probably just broke everything.
The tiefling's corpse stirs with the spell. You realize the tiefling's body has been torn open by huge hands.
You sure about that? Doesn't look like it.
Strange warriors. Quick of foot, this one, to avoid Githyanki hunters. Mountains. Road. Gay ogres. El Turel. True sight.
Okay. And let's come over here, and we will get the journal in here, and that'll get Shadowheart going. So, pick this up. And if we read it, she should have an interaction.
Shadowheart's attention is fixed upon the contents of an old journal.
Okay.
We should keep moving. You already know as much as I do. Best...
Whatever you say. Now, we are going to do some, well, I would spoil it if I actually said it. So I'm not going to say it just yet.
Missing children. Maggie Terrans, Marcus Terrans, Mathan Deach, Rochelle Kirk.
Alright, so what we're actually going to do, because that was kind of a cop-out, I'm not really a fan of having to do it like that. We are going to go down here, and we are going to go ahead and get the, well, part of the book. We're going to get the book itself, hopefully. Because, yeah, that I will agree, that is a cop-out. However, if I can use them during the Goblin raid, then that'll mean that's less that I have to worry about, and they should die, because I'll attack them anyway. So, hopefully that works, because that crown is really, really important. If I have to, I will reload the entire game just to get through that and actually fight and get the crown. Because, I mentioned this before, this is on Tactician mode, like, that fight is difficult even on, like, the normal mode. Because they're, like, level 4, so I could come back later and fight them, no problem. But, level 4, having to deal with them, yeah, no. Yeah, no, that's a little iffy. Totally doable. Like, we had that fight. If we just planned it a little bit differently, we would have easily had it. Like, one thing, if I actually rested, because I have nothing to my name right now. I have pretty much no skills ready.
I do not know this name. If you are known to my master, step forward and declare yourself an ally.
I'm just gonna break it. gonna try to, at least. Yep. So normally you like have to do a sort of a puzzle sort of thing with them. There's a note down here that will tell you one of the answers, but they just ask you a bunch of questions. And if you fail any of the questions, they summon a bunch of guards that attack you. And they also summon like orbs that deal magic damage to you. And it's really not fun and really not worth it. Like if you have Gale with you, you get some like influence with him if you pass it all, but I don't care. I see Barbarian option. I'm going to select the Barbarian option every time if I can help it. Because I think that they're hilarious. And that's kind of the point of this character, you know? If I'm gonna be playing the Karlach playthrough, I might as well select all the Barbarian stuff. Because so far, they've been really efficient. I haven't had any issues with the Barbarian stuff so far. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and turn the banter back on. Like I said, I turned it off before because it felt like they had extra stuff to say all at once, and that was distracting to me. But it seems like they might have gotten it all out of the way. Like, almost like they had to just catch up and redo all the banter that they'd already done. Because of the patch, I guess. And we're not gonna loot anything else in here, if I can help it. Well, there's not much. What am I saying? I'm a loot fiend, if you couldn't tell. These are really useful. These are really, really, really useful for me. So let's see, +2 AC as long as you're not wearing armor or holding a shield. Well, guess what? I'm not wearing armor or holding a shield. And go ahead and collect this. Oh, that's another reason why I'm kind of weaker than I should be. I haven't actually been looting anything, and I haven't actually been buying anything or stealing anything from people yet. Because I wanted to do most of that off camera because of how boring it is, and I just haven't gotten around to it. Not the ink. I didn't want the ink, I wanted the book. There should be a journal in here? No? Nothing? I thought there was a journal here too. Research notes.
What is it?
I could swear that there was other stuff here. Are we not gonna find it? Okay, whatever. Not a big deal. It's just something telling me about how he has been like experimenting and doing things.
Just as I expected.
Cool, you set the trap off. Thank you so much for setting the trap off. So yeah, that's one big issue I have with the characters. Like, they're detect the trap right next to the trap. You have to be right on top of the trap, and by the time you detect it, one of the other allies just runs right up onto it. Ugh. I don't really like the traps in this game.
Take heed. I see a trap.
I kind of wish they gave me an option to enter turn-based mode the moment that a trap is detected. Because that's how it kind of was in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, where you could pause whenever a trap's detected. In this, there might be an option, there might be a mod for it. I'm playing no mods. It's just a little annoying.
Hello.
I'm not going to complain too much more about it, but I really don't like it. Just to put it bluntly. Go ahead and destroy that, and we can get this. And hopefully we pass the checks.
The book is locked tight with no visible keyhole, only an oval recess in the cover's mouth. You try to examine the book, but the longer you stare, the more those piercing amethyst eyes draw you in.
A cursed book. How obvious. Whoever opens it deserves the fate that befalls them.
It's not cursed.
Curious. Why don't you take a closer look? I'll observe from back here.
That looks terribly heavy. Why don't you let me carry it for you?
Drop the book, tuck the book in your pocket. You can destroy it and you get like a special animation, all that stuff with like holy magic hitting it. But I'm gonna tuck it in my pocket. So in early access, Gale would actually request the book. That was one of the artifacts that he demanded so that he could like be sated. he doesn't do that now as far as I know. Like, if you bring him, maybe he will. But he won't get mad if you don't bring him. Let me just go ahead and check the time. So I'm also thinking about doing longer episodes after this, because it feels like we're not actually covering enough. I'm just going to check down here. When I come back to loot, I'm going to check thoroughly the paintings and such, to see if there might be any Divinity Original Sin 2 characters down here as well. Because I know where 3 of them are now. I don't know where any more are, though. Unless I look it up, I'm pretty much going to be SOL on that. We have time for one last thing. One last thing. We're going to go and talk to Scratch over here. So let's get Speak with Animals up. And with Speak with Animals, we'll talk to Scratch and send him to camp. We don't actually have to do that part. We can just send him to camp with a animal handling thing. My character doesn't have much animal handling, though, so I'm relying on Speak with Animals to supplement my weakness. So we get Scratch, and then we're gonna talk to the Owlbear and get that chain started. And then we'll probably rest and start the next stuff next time.
Keep moving, stranger. Quietly. I told you to go!
Alright, so... Don't... Alright, sorry. Yeah, I'm not gonna pick this one. I'm not gonna pick this one. Period is Caller. I'm not your enemy, I promise. We'll try that. So, wow. Actually, Speak with Animals makes this harder. Hopefully we don't fail this. I will save scum this. I will say that right now. I don't want to lose this character just because of some random interaction.
I told you to go!
So that doesn't make any difference. You don't want me angry, trust me, one animal to another. So we'll try for the perception this time.
You see a name etched into the leather.
You're Scratch, aren't you? Come here, it's alright.
You know my name? Interesting. A predator wouldn't care to learn it. Still, you should go. My friend is injured. He needs rest. Of course he will. And then we'll return home.
Okay, what happened to your friend exactly? Prove he's dead. Come on, you can travel with me if you like, so
no,
we'll do that.
I won't leave him.
If he doesn't wake up, follow my scent, I have a camp.
If it comes to that, I may. Thank you.
I could ask what happened, but I could also just ask the corpse and not potentially break the dialogue.
Owlbear tracks. Its nest must be nearby.
And there is a artifact down here that we will get next time, I believe. It's a Saluna.
Stench. Dead owlbear prey, no doubt.
But it can potentially be a really invasive, really invasive thing to get, because you have to pass multiple checks to do it, and then you have to deal with Shadowheart's BS, and I might not want to have the thing if it's really bad BS. So we want to say before that,
you feel
because
the
I don't know what it
quake
is.
of its heavy footsteps before you see it. An owlbear, its beaked face looming out of the darkness.
What's this? Something weak, something tender. Won't even have to chew you before I feed you to my son. Soft meat.
Sorry, wrong cave, I'll be going, you're injured. There's still half a spear lodged in your head. You've had your last meal, move closer.
It's a splinter. I've gutted bigger threats than you with worse.
Okay, come on, once it's plucked, I'll have your... Oh, yeah, no. We're not doing that one. Just allow me to leave, there's no threat to your cub, yeah. So I really needed more perception on this character, or persuasion, because this would just be like a animal handling check, and it would be way easier. So speaking with them, I guess not always the best thing. I thought it was always the best thing, but you see, it just lowballs me here. So, we can do this fight, and if we do this fight, we have to kill the mother first. Otherwise, you know, the cub won't come back with us. I'll explain in a little bit. We'll try this again. I don't mind wasting an inspiration on that.
You're small,
this is a little different.
weak. Killing you would be a waste of time. You can go, but you make one wrong step.
Alright, so what I was going to say, there we go, we got inspiration right back. That's why I wanted this. I was kind of hoping I wouldn't have to waste the inspiration to get the inspiration. But now that that's taken care of, this cub right here, if we do attack, we have to kill her first. Because we could attack the cub as well, he'll join in the fights. But then obviously we won't get the cub. When we kill the mother, the cub will actually stay in the camp for, like, a rest. Or not the camp, this place for a rest. And whenever we come back, the cub will be gone, and it will be in the goblin camp, where it's being held captive. And we can free it there, and then when we free it there, it has a chance to go to our camp. However, the chance is really tiny. Like, super, super tiny. You'll know it's there when you hear a hooting sound at night. So, that's the only, like, info that we can get. And you have to be nice to it. Usually speak with animals with him is actually really good, because you can pass pretty much everything with the speak with animals on them. Go ahead and take this. And I think we're going to wrap the episode here. So yeah, there was a lot of misses, a lot of mess-ups. I wasn't really planning on doing some of these things. I was kind of trying to do it the most optimal way. So I'm curious, genuinely curious, what will happen with the horn. If this actually works. Because whenever I used this in early access, it didn't work at all. Like, there was nothing I could do with this. So I just lost the helmet. I don't need the helmet right now. It'll get my ints up to 17, which is nice. It'll mean I can pass several more checks. And it'll also mean that I can, like, turn into another, like, dump stat, and I can distribute into maybe Constitution, because right now Constitution is a dump stat. I don't know why I made Constitution a dump stat. I actually have no idea. Like, Constitution shouldn't have been a dump stat. It should have been, well, actually, it makes sense. Yeah, I'd move it over to Constitution. Because eventually in Act 3 I will be getting an amulet to boost my Constitution. And Constitution with Barbarians means that I get increased AC. Right now my AC is kind of low. Really, really low, because you're expected to have a high Constitution as a Barbarian to get more. But I think I was going to add like a light or medium armor on this character. So that's why, because you have to be completely unarmored, which means this has to go to Shadowheart. But that's enough talking about that. That's been maxi stuff that isn't that important, and stuff that will change as I play further in the game and find better loots. So yep, this is Crim signing out. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Next time we will be taking care of the, not the hag, but we will be taking care of the swamp. And whatever else there is. Because I kind of figured I would be doing this next episode, but oh well. Oh, and that. Yeah, that down there. Oh, I never finished that train of thought. So there's an item in there, and if you collect it, Shadowheart gets mad. So I've never actually collected it. I think they changed it. It should be like an amulet or something now. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm going to pick it up this time and just see what it is.